Fernando, is he calling you names? You getting them? Yeah? Did he hurt your feelings? Welcome to the 10-Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and well, it seems to have started snowing, a little overcast. It was a beautiful sunrise this morning. So today's video is all about Fernando, Fernando the turkey. So we're going to head into the barn and learn a little bit more about our turkey, Fernando. Fernando! Come here, buddy! Come on out! Come on out! We got a story to tell. Alright, so this here's Fernando. Fernando loves the camera. Don't you, bud? He doesn't like to be pet so much. He's more of a look but not touch kind of turkey. So Fernando came in to us just a few days old, maybe a week, 2 weeks old, and he was just he was hatched out on another farm, but for whatever reason, I believe it was somebody was moving away. They couldn't keep the animals, so they had to get rid of the turkeys. So we took them in here on the farm. And it wasn't long after that we actually rehomed them ourselves because we had Tom the turkey. Now, Tom the turkey is actually a pretty interesting story because what had happened was there was a daycare out here, a country daycare, and we got a phone call and they had mentioned that there was a turkey that was hanging around. It wasn't causing a problem with the kids. But the parents didn't seem to like it too much because they were hanging around with the kids and the parents were scared for their children. So one day I got a phone call and said, well, you know, we talked about you taking this turkey in the fall, but would you mind coming and getting him now? Because the parents were picking up shovels and sticks or whatever they could when they got out of the car to go get their kids. So I went down and picked up Tom, and Tom was on the yard here for about a year, I believe it was. And then he was over a winter, and then he left with the wild turkeys, the females that came along. He headed out that spring with them, and that's when kind of Fernando took over the reins of the yard turkey. So when Fernando came back to us, he came back with 5 others. And we weren't sure if they were female or male. As they grew, you could see that they started developing their facial features. And it turned out we had 3 Toms and 2 Jennies. So 3, what are you looking at? 3 males and 2 females. So we separated Fernando with 2 of the females, and then because they were starting to fight at that time. So we actually ended up rehoming one of the females along with both of the Toms. Now Tom was still here at that point, so we had to actually put Fernando into a cage, into the rabbit pen. Now Tom is having a standoff with little Tom, we'll call him. I guess it's kind of an alpha thing. Tom here is about, a year and a half to 2 years old. And the other one in there is not even a year old yet. And you can tell by, there's a little tuft of hair right here. And that you can see here is, it basically tells their age. So he's got a nice long one on him, and he's got a shorter one. But yeah, they hang out at the fence there, and we put them together, and they just fought, and we said, okay, that's enough, no more fighting. This boy's kind of puffed up. Hey, oh yeah. Yeah, you're all flared, aren't you? But harmless. A lot of people get scared because they puff up like that, and I guess they can come and attack, but the best thing to do is just stand your ground. You know, you come in and you can pet them. Eh? Oh, okay, all right, it's all right. You gotta watch your step. All right, we'll just leave him be then. How embarrassing, eh? You fell right in front of your rival. So he went in there with the female Jenny, which her name was Tina. So Tina, the turkey, and Tina ended up about a year later. She went out. She went out down to the barn, and we decided that we would, let her sit on her eggs, and she actually disappeared. Her and her eggs all disappeared, which was unfortunate. Probably a predator in the area. So right around the same time, okay, you're not going to do that the whole time I'm talking, are you? So right around the same time we had Tina, we had another one that came in. It was an older female, and her name was Ezzy. Now Ezzy had actually passed away of natural causes, probably a couple years ago now. So in 2017, we were doing a bunch of petting farms, off-yard petting farms. And we would take Fernando, he would jump in the back seat of the car, and off to the races we went. Literally, off to the races, Tara went with them once, because it was at the Assiniboine Downs. There was a petting farm area, family fun day, that she would go and take him and some other animals once a week. Now, CTV News got wind of Fernando, and they wanted to do a story on him. So they came out, they interviewed Tara and Fernando, and did a story on him. So that got him a little bit of awareness about turkeys and what they're like. So we went out, as I was saying, he went out to petting farms, we went out to multiple petting farms all over the city. He got to meet the, what was it? It was Boston Pizza's mascot and a couple girls. So he posed with a picture with them. He actually went to, it was in Thanksgiving. So Canadian Thanksgiving is different than American Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving is in October. And what we thought is, since our son is at the university, he was living on campus at that time, University of Manitoba, we decided, well, let's take Fernando down to the university because everybody that's residents on the university that is still there are foreign exchange students. And chances are they probably have never seen a turkey, and a lot of them don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so they don't know what it's all about. So we threw him in the car and we drove down to the university. It was cute because on the way down, and this is something that Tara does, she will put him in the back seat, drive up beside another vehicle, and then roll down the window, and Fernando sticks his head out the window and gobbles. And of course the look on the faces of the vehicles, usually at stop lights, is priceless. Okay, and here we are. We're at Pomona Hall Residence, University of Manitoba. And here is Fernando and Tiana. I'm going to see if we can get some reactions.
Hello.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's so cute. I'm an RA with Baxter.
How are you?
Yeah.
Well, this is Fernando. So we thought, what better way to do it than to bring him to university for Thanksgiving?
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really friendly.
Hi.
He is a tease, so he will make you work for it.
Oh, he's so soft. Let me love you. Hi. Oh, what is this?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh. Wow, that's so cool. You safe, Fernando? Hey? Yeah.
His one eye looked at me.
Yeah, he'll pose for the camera too.
My phone is frozen.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he loves
He
the
knows.
bomb.
Yeah, he photo bombs and. Oh, wait for it. Yeah, get the side.
That's awesome.
Go get him! Go get him! See, now he's like, oh. I see you.
So in May of 2018, Manitoba started a Manitoba Animal Therapy and Service Animal Day. So they contacted us as well as the City of Winnipeg Police Canine Division, as well as the farm, a horse ranch, down about half an hour south of us. And we just thought it was another event, and we like taking our animals to different events. Come over here, bud. We like to take our animals to certain events just to get exposure and to let people learn more about the animals, especially turkeys. A lot of people have fears of turkeys. So when we got down there, we then realized that it was a kickoff to the first annual Manitoba Therapy Animal and Service Animal Day. And we got an award for recognition, which was very nice. So Fernando was there on the marble floors of the Legislative, taking lots of pictures, lots of politicians there getting their picture taken with Fernando, and it was quite a turnout. And it was there's a lot of people that now visit the farm. Some of them being politicians come out because, of course, they remember Fernando on that day.
She comes here and assists. Yeah, she comes here maybe once a week.
Come here. Oh, I'm gonna hold Fernando now because he just likes to cover the camera. He gets a little whiny when you hold him. He kind of tweets and his feathers go down like this. In 2018, we had a number of weddings here on the farm. And of course, Fernando was in. He just loves the wedding crowd, the wedding scene. And he usually goes to bed. He'll go and he'll perch on usually the front deck or a railing. He'll perch there for the night. Usually it's just kind of around dusk. He heads off. Same with the chickens. But that night, since there was music going, there were people dancing, he was up until the music stopped. So it was about 1 a.m, and he was doing that where he fluffs his feathers out and he makes the noise. But you could just tell he was slowing down dramatically. During the wedding, it was very cute. He was wandering around, of course, where all the people were, in the seating area for all the guests. And while the wedding's starting and everybody's coming down, all the groomsmen and all the bridesmaids are walking down, and then, of course, the groom and the bride. Well, Fernando was right there walking down the aisle as well. I don't think he had his tie on. We've got this cute little tie that we put on him. He doesn't mind it too much, just because I guess he's got all this going on down here anyway. You don't need a tie, do you, buddy? But yeah, so there was pictures taken of course, the bride petting the turkey and people dancing with him on the dance floor. Fernando, are you dancing on the dance floor? So people got quite a kick out of him. At first, people generally get a little bit scared because they're unsure. You know, what's this turkey? Is it going to start attacking me? But once you get to know Fernando, he's not too shabby. Okay, you gonna go? You gonna stay out of? Here, I'll let you go. See, he'll just puff right back up again, as if nothing ever happened. Oh, there you go. So 2018 was also the year that Fernando made a little friend, whether he liked it or not. It was a love-hate relationship. One of our guineas. We called him the Rock, essentially, because what he would do is he would follow Fernando around, and then he would crouch and sit down in an area where Fernando was hanging out. And of course, guineas are speckled, and when they sit down, they are resembled a rock. And so we just ended up calling him the Rock. So he would hang out with Fernando all the time. Fernando would be wandering around out front in the flower garden, just anywhere in the yard, and there was the Rock. You'd look for Fernando, and you'd look to find the Rock, and there he was. So he actually did make an appearance this past summer, 2019. Is that your snood? Is that your snood? Here, we'll do a comb over. No? So we did see him this year. He hung out a little bit with them. But it was funny because he would hang out with them, and then of course he would take a little bit of Fernando's spotlight, which he didn't care for too much. So what would happen is Fernando would go and he would chase him away. So the Rock loved hanging out with Fernando. Fernando didn't care too much about him hanging out. So Fernando was lonely. He was hanging out with people, with visitors that came by the yard, which he has no problems doing. So we thought, well, it would be nice to get him some company, get him some girls. So we ended up picking up 3 females and put them in a pen out in the yard. Now he did mate with a couple of them, and we did have a little one, and we named him Fabio. So Fabio and the 3 adult females, but one of them had gotten attacked by what we believe was a predator in the yard. Now turkeys will wander out from time to time, but they'll come back in and roost. They know where their food is. So we actually ended up losing one of the females. Now Fernando didn't take a very good liking to the females, and we decided, well, we had the opportunity. There was another guy in the area that wanted a couple turkeys to raise, and he was actually shocked to hear that, oh, well, this is Fernando's little one. Yes. So he took Fernando's little one, Fabio, and the 2 females. And Fernando's back on the yard, just being a host, visiting and greeting people that come to the yard. So 2019, this year, we had CBC News come out and wanted to do a Thanksgiving spot on Fernando because they had heard about Fernando and his ability to make friends very quickly. So they did a spot on him. Okay, Fernando, get your butt out of the camera. We don't want to see your butt. Hey, come over here. What if I put my leg out? What if I put my leg out like that? But then nobody can see me. Yeah, you're just gonna climb on me. Oh, Fernando. See, this is what I mean. Okay, Fernando, get off. Get off. Get off. Fernando! Get off my foot! You're funny. So this past year, we had some visitors come in from Switzerland. They were actually visiting family in the city of Winnipeg and decided to come out to the farm and check out the animals. So this family from Switzerland, they were so impressed by Fernando that they actually named a beer after him. Yes, they own a microbrewery in Switzerland and thought he was just the greatest. There's a little write-up on the beer. I'll put that up here on the screen. But it was the cutest. So Fernando now has a beer named after him, which is really pretty cool. So I will put links in the description to a lot of the news articles, the video articles. I can't post them, of course, on my channel because of copyright infringement and whatnot. But you can click on those links down below and you can watch and read the stories on those sites. Sometimes you can't get in there from other countries, but if you use like a VPN, which is a virtual private network, you can usually change it to say that you're browsing from Canada or browsing from the US to be able to view those sites that you can't normally view because you don't live in that country. One of the ones that I use, it's a free one, it's called Hola. So check that out. All right, Fernando. Yes, I tried to get a nice little set going on where you could sit beside me and we could have this like talk show thing going on. But all you want to do is just fluff up your feathers. All right, you want to go back in with the girls, buddy? Come on. Come on, yeah. Yeah, I know. You can flirt with the girls in here. Come on, bud. Up, up. Go on. There you go. In you go. Now you have all kinds of birds to impress. He actually likes it in there. Don't you, Fernando? So I'm seeing these chickens here. There's 5 of them. I think 5 of them. Or 4 or 5 of them. And they actually came in from, there was a fire last night, about a mile as the crow flies, just down the highway here. So of course it was all over Facebook, and Tara was trying to find out, what it was and who it was, and if there was a family that was in need of some shelter for the night at least. And as it turns out, it was a chicken coop or a shop with chickens in it. And I believe it was a heater was the cause of the fire. So it wasn't their home, which was good. Happy to hear that it wasn't the house. But of course, we have some chickens now that were in need of some rescuing, in need of some shelter. So Tara was in contact with them and said, well, if your chickens need, we'll bring them down. We'll put them in the building. Hi, Fernando. What do you want something? Do you know that I have something? I have some crab apples. Oh, look, your snood went up. Look at that. Okay, slow down. Slow down. Ow. Okay, you're gonna choke if you eat so fast. Hang on. Look. Oh, Fernando, you're hilarious. Can you do tricks? Can you do... No, give me... Here, look, right here. Look, right here. Oh! Ow! No, go for this one. Ow, that's my finger! This is why we tell people not to hand feed animals, because you can get... Okay, one left. Savor it. Okay. There, that's it. It's gone. It's all gone. See? All gone. You ate them all. You're a violent eater. There's nothing there. Are you starving? Oh boy, this is why we don't have any crab apples on the ground beneath the crab apple tree out front. Because turkeys like them. Right, Fernando? So, and that's it for yet another video. A little special video on Fernando. I've been doing a few of these videos, one on Sheldon a couple weeks ago, and thought it would be a nice little touch. You guys have asked for a little bit more information on some of our animals. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. We release videos at least once a week. So until next video, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you then.